Hi there, Annie Van Peter here from Realty One Group Southwest. And today we're actually in my very own kitchen. I'm gonna make some ghee today. People ask me all the time about ghee. Ghee is clarified butter. It is where you separate the milk fat from the butter fat. You keep the butter fat and you remove the milk fat from it. So it tends to cook at a higher smoke point. You can cook very, very high temperatures with ghee, and it's the best part of the butter, if you ask my personal opinion. I'm a huge fan of butter. I'm pretty convinced that God created bread as a vehicle to get to butter. So we are going to start with a few items here. We've got Kerrygold butter. I use 2 pounds of butter for each pint jar that I'm going to make of ghee. So I've got my pint jar. I also have a little strainer on the top, and I use a little piece of cheesecloth, and I put that cheesecloth right on top of the strainer. So it's going to strain the last part of the milk fat once I'm done. So I will get started and take my 2 pounds of butter. I put it into a saucepan, and then I cook it at a very low temperature, on the lowest temperature as I can, and it'll take about 10 minutes before it separates. And I'll give you a little video of that too. Okay, our ghee actually took about 20 minutes to melt, but you know, you can be doing other things during that time, so you don't need to sit there and watch it. I did for your benefit, but you really don't need to. So now I'm just gonna take it right off of the stove, and you'll notice that the butter has melted. The butter fat has risen to the top, and the milk fat has settled on the bottom. So I'm going to carefully pour it through my little strainer with the extra piece of cheesecloth in there. If you do it slowly, the milk fat is going to continue to settle to the bottom. They'll get to a point where I will actually stop pouring and kind of let it settle a little bit more. See those little pieces on the top are coming off? Those are the part that the cheesecloth is catching. So there we go. I'm gonna settle that just a little bit, let it separate a little bit more, and then just keep pouring it. And then let it separate some more. Pour it some more. Oops, we're getting to the milk fat. So we just want to make sure that we don't get as much, we want to keep as much milk fat out as possible. Now this is probably not something that you're going to want to be doing if you have a milk allergy. If you do, I'd recommend buying ghee, but this will save you a ton of money if you don't have a milk allergy. The only reason why I say that is because there is a little bit of milk fat getting in there, very, very slight amount, but it really depends on your allergy. That is pretty much how we make ghee. And I'll continue to do that until I get down to the bottom of it, and then I'll just toss out the milk fat. So there we go. That's pretty much it. Ghee can be used in a variety of things. It can be used vegetables. You can use all kinds of stuff. I happen to eat a low carb, high fat diet. I do that for a variety of reasons. One of them is because dementia is in my family, and so I'm trying to keep my fat intake up. I will tell you, having done that and continuing to do that, my brain, you know, your little synapses don't seem to connect sometimes. Well, mine are on fire all the time. So that's the really cool part about it. My favorite way to eat ghee happens to be in scrambled eggs. I just think they're amazing. But you can see how beautiful this is. This ghee is just gorgeous. And I'm also that little weird kid that when you were little, you know, you used to go by the butter and eat a bite of it, stick your finger in it. That's how I like it. So delicious. And there we have our final product. It is a pint of ghee that I made from 2 pounds of butter. The really cool part about this is it can just be left on the countertop. If you put it into the refrigerator, it will harden and it makes it very difficult to melt. You can put it in the refrigerator if you'd like to, but I just leave it on the counter. It'll harden a little bit so it's solid. Right now it's liquid because it's still warm, but it'll harden where it's solid, and I just spoon out whatever I need. Nice thing about having it on the counter, it reminds me to use this as a source of fat when I'm trying to figure out fat to cook with. All right, there you have it. That is how you make ghee.